Okay, this is Clifford, and yeah, this has kind of a issue of kind of start and stopping with each bounce. The forward momentum should be more consistent than that, and then it sort of speeds up at the end in kind of a funny way. And the squashing and stretching isn't right. It should squash when it touches down, but instead it's stretching. So a lot of issues with this one. Let's take a look. Um, so I'll start with that forward momentum issue. Let's take a look in the graph editor. Uh, yeah, you can see pretty quickly here. So let's change that to linear. Um, and for some reason, you've got 3 frames for each of those contact things, and that's part of the reason why we have that start and stop issue. So I would get rid of these. I would get rid of that, those, and these, and those. And then try to make it's generally consistent. You can see how much it speeds up at the end there, so I'll kind of try to make that about the same speed as these. I think just shift middle mouse dragging to move that down. Trying to make just the angle of the line pretty consistent here. Something like that. And then we've got too many extra contact frames. So yeah, you don't need this last one here. Ooh, why did that tilt that way? It looks like you're rotating this thing. You should not be rotating this thing. That's another problem. So let's just get rid of all the rotations on the move control. Um, and then we can lose this and that. And that looks a little funny at the end there, but I'm just going to leave that for now. And so it's this thing that can angle this squash, so you can put a little that way. And I usually this one, oh, this is probably another one. Yeah, I usually kind of move this out one just to give it a frame to sort of recover from the. But this way. A little bit like that. A little bit like that. Etc. So let's see if you like this better. Still not right. It's just a bit extreme for the speed and size of that bounce. Let's take a look at the Y translate curve on that too, because I think there's some issues around that as well. Yeah, I can see it right here. The shape of these bounces isn't great. So let's take out these guys, and we need to fix these tangents. Let's make sure these are all broken. These should all these tangents should be broken here, so we can, do the left and right side. So these should have much more of a. Oh, that one doesn't matter. Bounce shape here. That could probably be more centered. Take out this one, that one. Okay, something like that, but you can see how those have more. It's interesting that this bounce is higher than that one. Normally the first one would be higher, and then they keep getting lower. Um, so getting better, but I, still need some work. Let's take a look at the realistic bounce. So there's two. Oh, is this one? Not really seeing much in there. Huh. Is that it for the... That doesn't seem right. Seems like there was something wrong. Interesting take on this. I mean, I think sort of the angles and movements is kind of the right idea, but the timing is 3,000 frames per second. So what? Yeah, that is crazy. So normally we would do 24 frames per second, um, but then you have to scale this all the way back. I'll just select all my curves here and just take this and sort of scale it way down. I don't know how you ended up getting 3,000 frames per second. And then I'll double click here, snap, to snap it to whole number keyframes. Oh, there's something weird about that rotation too. So anyway, you can play with the speed by scaling it up or down, but definitely should be 24 frames a second, not 3,000. And then make sure you're set to OCR on play every frame. We should be on. Why does it still say 3,000? Oh God. 24 frames a second. I don't know, something's not right with this. But yeah, I think it might have converted my curve when I changed the frame rate. So somehow your frame rate got completely messed up, and you need to make sure you're using 24 frames a second from the start, because it can goof things up if you try to do it afterwards. Anyways, from the original look, you had the angles right, but I just think the speed was really, really slow for a pool table, so you can work on that.